You know it, baby.
My girlfriend was like, "You're not gonna shave." I was like, "Nah."
Double D is in the house. Fat boy, what's going on, buddy? What is going on? Wow, last day of vacation, man. I know a lot of people out there just getting ready to start. School is starting to let out. So that summertime is just about here for a lot of folks. All right, folks, let's just give the peanut gallery the usual couple of minutes. Joe Fuentes, I'm gonna drop that link right there real quick, man. Let's see if we can't do it this way. Yeah, I think it's his phone and the program, man. It's just not something is not compatible. All right, he just yeah, it is not happening. Nope, not happening for Joe just yet. What's happening, folks? Couple of minutes, we'll get started. Joe Fuentes is having some problems getting in. Technology. Grilling and chilling with Moho. What's happening, buddy? Good to see you this evening, man. Double D, progress is slow on the kitchen, man. Slow on the kitchen. The builders had a emergency at home, so they had to put a pause on things for a few. Now we still can't get a picture from Joe. Nah, no picture from Joe. Judge, what's happening, buddy? Big D from Delaware. What's up, man? How are you doing? All is well. All is well. Hey, Josh, what's going on, buddy? Another minute, man. We're trying to give Joe Fuentes another minute to see if he can get his issues worked out before we go hot.
Tell him to go find a teenager real fast.
We thought we had this worked out. Double D, we're not I'm not ready yet to put the name out there, man. That simple name. But like I said, it's very simple, man. Nothing complicated. Not a whole lot of verbiage. Judge, what's going on, buddy? What is going on? Yes, sir. I know that, man. I've had several people hit me up asking the same question. El Barrio, what's happening, buddy? How are you doing, man? Good to see you. All right, folks. Welcome back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. Man, we absolutely appreciate you guys and gals stopping in for however long you're able to do so. Our second guest, Joe Fuentes, is having just a little bit of difficulties getting in the chat. We thought we had it worked out, but when showtime came, it just didn't happen. So he's going to be trying periodically, and we'll see if we can get him on. If not, we'll get him on at a different time. But in the meantime, we've all know and love Darnell, the starving pig. Holler at the folks, Darnell. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, gang? You know I love y'all all.
So today's topic, man, is going to be in the field of vending and catering. And Darnell has a whole lot of experience and a whole lot of knowledge to share. And so does Joe Fuentes, man. Smoking Joe's competition and barbecue. So I absolutely wanted to hear what he had to say today. And hopefully we can still make that happen at some point. But in the meantime, for those of you who may not know Darnell, he's going to give you just a little bit of background about himself.
All right. Hey, I'm Darnell, Starving Pig Barbecue. Recently retired military Army veteran. Been retired, 3 years now. Um, Started out grilling food in the barracks in the Army. And about 11 years ago, I moved on to smoking food. And um, around 2017, people was like, hey, you need to start selling your food. And I jumped out there and started doing it for my house. And that's where we at right now. I'm currently thinking about trying to go full time with it all. I'm planning on going to look at a kitchen that's not too far from my house to see if those people that own that space are willing to work out a deal with me and what we need to do to get that kitchen compliant. Um, and we go on from there. We're gonna see what happens.
Well, excellent. Well, Darnell, man, uh, so as you said you started cooking, grilling in the military,
Hmm.
and how did that come about? What drew you to the pits?
So being a single soldier in the barracks, you always miss that barbecue with your family. And for those who don't know what barracks are, it's pretty much like a housing area for single soldiers, or
It's a flop house for young men.
it's almost like Animal House in Varsity
Yeah,
Blues.
yeah.
But you know, you got other guys that feel the same way. Man, I miss barbecuing. I can go for a grilled hamburger and grilled hot dog. And one day we rounded up a little small little sit on the ground Weber and just started from there, burning my eyelashes off and burning my arm hairs off. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to cook, and you know, and that was just charcoal and just using a grill back then. And then got drawn into smoking food years later.
Well, good man. You mentioned the barracks, and I can remember those days as a PFC. My first assignment was Germany. As a young
Mine too.
PFC man living in the barracks, the wife hadn't yet come over, and I do remember that time where we would just bust out on the weekend, man. The little company picnic area
Yep.
where the little grills are in the back, and it'll just be a bunch of us young men, sausage, some ribs or whatnot, just doing it. And
Mhm.
man, it only grew from there. You know, my interest, my love for grilling, definitely grew from there. So that was I always had it in me, but that camaraderie of young men
Yeah.
sitting around the fire
Mhm.
really brings something to life.
And then just the other part of that, you start cooking, and you know, next thing you know, you always got people approaching. Hey man, can you cook something on the grill? And that brings a big smile to your face. You're like, man, people like my food. And you know, um, soldiers really appreciate that. You got a lot of soldiers who don't know how to cook, but you all of a sudden you just become that designated cook, either for your unit or
Yeah.
just for your kids, or just for your floor. Um, and even even with me just starting back then, and just messing around, we did a regimental, actually squadron barbecue, and me and my homeboy, we were holding down the grill, and all the other units were like coming over. Hey, can y'all cook our food? Can y'all cook our food? It was like, dude, it's 10,000 people out here. What are you talking about? And man,
Yeah.
we playing food from like, they always want to do that esprit de corps unit run at 4:30 in the morning. Go home, take a shower, meet back at the local park on base. And man, we were slinging food from like 7:30 that morning to freaking 10 o'clock at night, and just been going strong since then.
Yes,
Everywhere I
sir.
went,
Let me
I ended up being the cook for some reason.
I know the feeling. Charlie, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Randy's in the house. What's going on, Randy? Rios, Mario, what's happening, man? What is going on? All is well. El Senor is in the house. Judge man, one of his best chicken cooks was in Iraq in 2003. Cut a barrel in half, scrounged up some local Iraqi charcoal, and whatever you can get your hands on went on that pit. It doesn't get any better than that. Doesn't get any better. You know, I won't even lie, and I wish I could tell you that man, we got to just throw down big time in Iraq, but we were so well taken care of, man. Our military kitchen, they fired up the grill at least once a week and took care of the soldiers. So I didn't get to do any queuing in Iraq for that year I was there. What's
Yeah,
going on? All right, Joe Fuentes says he couldn't get in. He's in the chat. Man, there'll be another time, Joe. All right,
where's
so
where's everybody else cooking?
let's see. Trumpet is in the house. What's going on, TM? How are you doing, buddy?
Luis.
All right, so Darnell, man. So as time passed, uh, and man, it's hard to believe that you're going on 3 years retirement.
I
You
know.
know, I remember talking to you right at that point where you were retiring it, and it's hard to believe that it's been 3 years already. Time flies, man. Time flies.
I out processed in like February or March of 2020. Yeah.
Man, time flies. So, man,
Yeah.
you retire, and at what point did you know you wanted to dive into the world of vending and catering?
Um, Once people start saying, "Hey, you need to sell your food," you can pull it off. So I pondered it for a while, and other people at work were like, "Hey, can you make some ribs for you? How much you gonna charge me for ribs?" And I had some people asking me, "Hey, around Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, hey, can you make me a brisket?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that for you." Blah blah blah. And back then, I didn't know how to charge for food, and um, hey, just throw me a couple of bucks, and
Yeah, you were giving it away.
yeah. And then I had a guy, since 20, probably 2015 now. He gets a brisket from me at least once a year. He brings me a case of Blue Moon, and then we split the brisket, and he takes the other half home, and that's my payment. So,
Yeah,
so I take a half a brisket in a case of Blue Moon. Fine, you know.
for
Got a
sure,
couple.
Judge. Man, time flies. 12 years already. For me, it was '06, so I'm well over 12 years, man. Time really flies. Enjoying retirement. Man, we got some more folks that have dropped in. Man, John is in the house. Salt, pepper, fire. Haven't seen him in a little bit.
I haven't seen
Uh,
John in a bit.
I know
So
work is keeping him busy, man. Work is keeping him busy.
I saw
805,
Randy down
same
there.
thing. All these guys are working hard, man. They've put almost like they've put YouTube on the back burner in terms of content. John dropped a video today. I'm not sure. 805. All right, so Darnell, first thing, man, let's cover for anybody out there that's interested in the field of vending or catering. Uh, what what type of equipment do you have right now? But before we even get to equipment, what is your setup like?
So for me, I have my offset in my driveway. I have my Louisiana Grills Champion Series Competition Pro pellet smoker in the driveway. I have my char griller Acorn in the driveway, and on my deck I have two master built electric smokers. I have another one in the basement that's not put together. I need to put that together because I'm actually going to start using those as food warmers to hold food. I have I have four of the 17-inch Blackstone planchas, the griddles, and then I
Yeah,
also have
yeah.
I have then I have the E series, and then I have a little portable Coleman gas stovetop.
Okay, so you're not going out to vend slash cater.
Um,
Are you vending from your driveway? Are people coming to pick up?
yes, people are picking up, and then occasionally I do go to I do go to people's homes, and I do on-site cooking there.
Okay, you do on-site cooking.
Yes,
Now, you recently created an LLC.
yes.
All right, how do you think that's going to help you? For anybody else out there that's been debating on the fence about an LLC, how do you think that's going to help you as you move forward with this business?
All right. So with the LLC part is basically a limited liability company. You want to have that piece set up for one, tax purposes. You also want to have that set up if you plan on having employees. You want to have that set up for insurance purposes. Also, um, um, if somebody wants to sue you, you don't want them to. You want to separate your business away from your personal stuff, like your house and stuff like that. You don't want nobody messing with none of that. So at the end of the day, if they want to sue you, all they can do is just sue the business, and not directly sue you and your personal stuff, so to
Yes,
speak.
sir. Yes, sir.
And then also on top of that, you have what they call an S corp and a C corp. Now you have to really do your research on those other two to decide what's going to be the better of the three to suit your needs.
All right,
Um,
exactly. Mom and I created an LLC some 6, 7 years ago, and because we weren't looking to vend or cater from that LLC, we did it primarily for tax purposes. We had a lot of other things going on, and it was a uh, it was a lifesaver for us in terms of some of the money that we were able to save, some of the
mhm,
write-offs we were able to do
right. Yep.
in what we considered a bit of a hobby, competition expenses, the whole 9 yards. That LLC really helped us out. So if there's anybody else out there, man, that's really interested, that's something they would need to research and see the benefits and see the benefits.
And
So
don't be let me
go
say
ahead.
something else about that. Don't be intimidated about the paperwork when it comes to starting your LLC or your S corp or E corp, your S corp or C corp. My apologies. A lot of people go and pay somebody to do it for them. That's fine. But if you just go on your state website, like I went on Maryland.gov, and I was able to knock that paperwork out in like 30, 40 minutes, sent it in. Um, I paid for I paid to have everything expedited. It was during COVID, so I didn't know how backed up things were going to be. So I paid to have mine expedited. I think I paid $190, and a few weeks later, my articles, uh, what they call your your articles of formation, which means your LLC is formed.
Yeah, yeah.
That paperwork came in a couple of weeks, and I went from there, and I applied for my Duns and Bradstreet number, which that's totally free once you get your LLC.
Is that like your tax ID number?
No, that's going to be a different. That's going to be a the Duns and Bradstreet is for other purposes also. When you start looking into taking government payments, you want to have that also.
Okay. All right.
And so along with that Duns and Bradstreet, once you get that Duns and Bradstreet, you're going to go to what they call SAMS.gov, and that's really going to solidify you being able to take payments from the government if the government wants to hire you for food events and stuff like that.
Okay, sweet, sweet. Yeah, sweet. Well, that is definitely something to think about out there, folks. And like you just heard Darnelle say, to be honest, it does not take a whole lot of equipment, man. And there's nothing wrong with starting off small. And as you get more comfortable, as you get a few more dollars in your pocket, and then slowly start growing the business. You know, Joe just mentioned, Darnell, Delaware Barbecue is asking, what part of Maryland are you in?
Capitol Heights, Maryland.
Okay, Capitol Heights. All right, all right. Joe Fuentes says, and Joe, this is Joe that was supposed to be our second guest tonight. They have 2 food trucks catering every day in West Texas. And they also have good insurance to cover everything. Dude, what is wrong with your eyes, man?
I'm on my phone.
Do you need glasses or don't you? Huh?
I'm on my phone. You're on a computer screen. So my chat is like, my chat is this small. My chat is literally this small.
I thought you were trying to peek around in my house or something.
Oh, nah. I done did enough of that.
Yeah, Joe says he also has good insurance. Now, Joe does a lot of stuff. He'll go out in the oil fields, and there's definitely money to be had there, man. Unfortunately, folks, once again, we apologize. We weren't able to get Joe connected for some reason. He was having some major technological issues. All right, but he does it. He does it on a large scale daily, man. And if you ever go to Joe Fuentes's Facebook, IG, or Smoking Joe's competition and catering team, you will see some of the food that this gentleman puts out, man. You would think that they're restaurant quality. They look well done, like professionally staged pictures. I mean, he's putting out some awesome meals. So really, really would have loved to have been able to hear from him. Absolutely. So Darnell, as you're moving forward, man, it makes life a little simpler, you know, doing stuff out of your driveway. You don't spend a whole lot of time having to go someplace, set up, worry about your location. How often do you do this at home? Is it weekly? Is it?
I usually try to do it every weekend. You know, you see me put my menus out. I try to do it every weekend. I took a couple of pauses here and there. I was telling you backstage about my dad and stuff. So, and I just try to work around my work schedule and stuff like that. So I try to push for every weekend. Sometimes I do get calls during the week. Hey, you know, you could do this for me in like the next 48 hours. Okay, I got enough notice. I can take orders 48 hours in advance, maybe 72 sometimes. So
all right. Jeff is asking, Darnell, what's your next expansion piece equipment wise? What are you looking at your next purchase in terms of growing a little bit? What would be your next major purchase?
So despite the cookers that I named, and which I have capacity, but not I don't have mobile capacity, so I'm looking to upgrade to a probably a 250-gallon trailer. Um, um, that's what I'm hoping to attain next.
Okay, sweet. A
And
trailer,
then,
uh, you have a truck that you can pull it.
yeah,
Okay, all right. So you've got the horse. You have got the horse. Now on a given weekend, are you taking pre-orders? And by
pre-order.
pre-orders,
Yes,
I mean, are these people paying you up front and then
yes,
coming to pick up?
yes. And during the holidays, I usually do a uh, um either 25 or one third non-refundable deposit because I've been stuck with food before and people never
Oh
had
yeah,
got
I
it.
know that.
So don't be scared to tell me, hey, you got to put a deposit down. It's non-refundable, and that's the way it's gonna roll. And I got stuck with like 6 turkeys 1 year, and guess what?
Wow.
I kept those deposits, and I was still able to sell those turkeys. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you got to look out for number one, man.
yeah.
You've got to look out for number one. Now, let you talk about your menu. I've seen your menu several times. I didn't take a screenshot or anything to put on the screen, but what's your inspiration for your menu? How did you come about to your current menu? You know, what was your thought process in getting to that menu?
So the menu changes. It varies. Uh, Either weekend to weekend or depending on the holiday. But for the most part, I just stuck with basic the basic barbecue classes that at least people in my area know. So you got the ribs, you got the hot links, you got the chicken, um, what else? And so I've been slowly but surely trying to turn people on to brisket. A lot of people around here don't know about brisket, so that's been a slow introduction with that. But you know, the normal things that most people would eat at a cookout, basically. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. Something that they're comfortable with, something that they're familiar with.
right.
Now, if you were to look to do brisket on a regular basis, in your neck of the woods, you know, I know Maryland isn't known for beef the way some other states are. In your neck of the woods, what would be some challenges in terms of getting brisket on a regular scale?
Uh, there's not a challenge in getting brisket per se. I've noticed that it's a little hard to find prime. Uh, the one butcher shop that I know that carries prime, for last time I went there and tried to get brisket from them, they were like, they said to get the choice because whatever supplier they were getting their prime briskets from, he didn't want to sell them. He wasn't happy with them. He said they were all fat. There was no meat. So he didn't want to rip nobody off with that. So but we got Walmart is here. Restaurant Depot is that way. I'm surrounded by plenty of places to get it. Several.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I'm right here. I'm right here near DC, so I got
Well,
plenty.
I asked that question because, dude, when you start talking about vending, you know, cooking briskets to sell, man, you've got to have quality meats.
Yeah.
You know, because
So
regardless of that myth, you know that you hear all the time, I can turn a choice into wagyu or a choice into prime. Uh, 9 times out of 10, that is not the case, man. So you know, like those barbecue restaurants in our neck of the woods, all these guys are cooking quality meats. You know what I'm saying? They're
mhm.
paying a premium, and that is why they're able to charge a premium price.
And
So
so
they're not out there cooking select for the most part. There might be somebody out there. I hear that Snow's Barbecue's cooking select. I don't know if there's any truth behind that, but most of the others, man, are cooking primes or above.
Right. So the challenge for me isn't necessarily sourcing the brisket. The challenge for me is the pricing of the brisket. People see $25 or $33 a pound. They scratch their head at that. They don't get it. Um, they don't understand the time and effort that goes in a cooking brisket and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hours that it take and the wood your fuel that you have to burn down and cook that brisket. So I try to explain to people all the time, hey, this ain't no 3 hour cook. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours.
Oh
So
yeah. And
um,
dude, and there has to be a way, man, where you can reach out, even maybe on social media, where you've got some followers, where you put out your menu. Maybe you could do a short video explaining to them, man, you start with a 15-pound brisket, and by the time you're done trimming, you're at 11, you're at 10 pounds,
mhm.
and then by the time you're finished cooking, you're at 8, maybe 7 pounds of meat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is where the cost comes into play.
Right. I was hoping you gonna end up getting into the, hey, how do you come up with your cost for per pound and all that stuff? Because I did a lot of market research on that. It's a lot of formulas for that. Um, you just gotta go with that formula that works for you, and you got to stick to it, and you gotta know where you got some room to go to the left or to the right with. So
Yeah, yeah. And
um,
like unlike an established barbecue restaurant, where they can take full advantage of a 15-pound brisket. You know, are you into making your own sausage?
no,
All right,
I'm not.
so
I'm not.
so
I'm not gonna say I'm not into it. I just
but you're
haven't
not
gotten.
doing it.
I haven't gotten to that point.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying about brisket. A,
Right.
a barbecue restaurant, they're going to take advantage of that trimming.
Yeah, they're able to maximize that whole brisket. I got
Yeah,
you.
oh, they're going to maximize that entire brisket.
Yeah.
And a small establishment like yourself probably isn't there yet.
Yes.
So again, man, you absolutely can justify your costs. If I'm making sausage, if I'm making hamburgers, if I am doing something with the trimmings, then I can afford to maybe knock my brisket prices down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you're not at that point, so I can totally understand. And a knowledgeable, a knowledgeable customer would understand the reasons behind your pricing.
Yep. Totally true.
Now, your recipes, where did they come from?
Oh boy. So um trial and error with some things. Some of our recipes come from you all out there. Um and just experimenting. Um but when you actually selling your food to the public, you don't want to go too crazy. Everybody's not going to have the same palate for stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, very true.
always try to keep it basic and just a little notch above the basic. Don't
Yes,
can't go too crazy with it because
yes,
everybody's taste isn't built the same. So
very true. And I often say that about restaurants, man. When you're cooking for the masses, you cannot afford to have your recipe far right or far left. It's got to be someplace in the middle, man, to try to satisfy
yep.
people on the left and people on the right, so to speak. 805 is asking, what do you sell a full rack of ribs for? Because he's thinking about selling some ribs over Father's Day.
So 35 to 40 bucks. That's your leeway. I don't know how much people pay for pork where they are. So with the math I've done, 35 to 40. I've seen places sell racks of ribs for 20 something dollars. I don't know. Maybe they got the hook up with the meat man. I don't know, but
Yeah. Nah.
Um, and,
That
and the reason I say that because I do have a meat man hookup where I can get baby backs for $5 a slab. Therefore, if I do a ×4 on that, I can sell those for $20. You know what I'm saying? But technically, those baby backs cost $10. I'm going to do a ×3 or a ×4. So you're going to be paying between 30 to $40 on
very
baby
true.
on baby backs. So
Big D's, yeah, for sure, man. Darnell knows about that pit beef barbecue. He's tried to hit me to it a few times. I haven't yet pulled a video on the pit beef, but I need to go back and relook. Let's see. All right, Buzz says he's also originally from PG County.
yeah, we talked about that before. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did, yeah. Oh yeah, they're all over this pit beef. I've seen the videos on social media, man. Never had one. Yeah. This is that myth that I was talking about right here, Darnell. Trumpet says even his select briskets come out so tender and juicy. Yes, sir. We know that, Trumpet.
No, Trumpet.
Yeah.
Everything he does is magical, and
Oh yeah.
These unicorn cooks, and so
Oh yeah. All right,
Trumpet
Buzz, do what you got to do.
Trumpet in the class by himself. That's my brother. I love him.
Yeah.
Him and his Breck Tech.
Yeah, do what you got to do, Buzz. Mama's asking Buzz, where and what are you vending? Tom is in the house. What's going on, Tom? Good to see you. The Keto Cook. Tell him Joe, just go back up in the chat. And I hope he's on a new phone or a laptop. There's the link, Joe. There's the link.
He found a teenager to help him out.
All right, just found the laptop. All he had to do was go back to his Facebook. All right, I dropped it, Joe. All right, so we're still trying to get Joe back on here. All right, Darnell, 805 agrees. He said perfect. He was thinking 35 as well. Yeah, he was thinking 35 as well.
And
I'm telling you,
and just to make sure you do get your 40, just to make sure you get your 40, go ahead and sell your slab for 30 or 35, and you sell your half slabs for 20, and you still get your 40. So
yeah. All right, we got Joe now. If we just get some, if he pay his light bill, if he pay his light bill and we get some lighting, we'll be able to see that big head of his.
Like teenagers to come back and help you.
Yeah. All right. Come on, Suavemente, get the light on you. That's a little better.
You gotta turn the other way. The lights to the back of your head. Lights to the back of your head. You gotta turn. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's good enough.
That's all right, man. I'm not gonna ask so much more than that, Joe. All the trouble you put us through.
It's been a long.
All right, so do we have audio, Joe? Do we have audio? You got to say something, Joe.
I'll mute your mic.
Joe, can you hear us?
You heard us because he spun around. He can hear us.
Yeah, this is the Abbott and Costello show right here.
I'll mute the mic.
This is straight up Abbott and Costello.
Not on my part, y'all. Not on my part.
Yeah. All right, we'll let Joe continue to work it. We got a picture finally. All right. Yeah, we've got a picture.
Where do we leave
so
off?
Darnell, let's continue talking pricing, man. And
Okay.
folks, we started this conversation last week towards the end of the live stream, and so I decided I wanted to continue it this week, man. So let's continue with pricing. We just spoke a little bit about brisket and ribs. How do you go about pricing some of your other things? Uh,
Okay. So I have said in your post, I said make sure you got your pencils and your notepad. So it's gonna be a few ways we can do this. All right. So let's just say you got right now, I think the market for pork is $4 a pound, right? You're gonna take four. Let's say you got a 10-pound pork butt. So you're gonna take that 4 times 10 equals 40. Okay. I was saying that your longer cooks, you want to do a 4 times cost on that. So you're gonna take that 40 times 40 equals $160, correct?
yes, sir.
You're gonna lose about a 30 of weight, So we got a 10-pound shoulder. We're gonna yield about 7 pounds. So you're gonna take that 160, divide that by 7. That's gonna give you your price at a times 4 cost on how much you need to sell your pork shoulder for
Per pound.
per pound,
Yeah, per
correct?
pound. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Joe,
So
you with us
somebody
yet?
somebody do that math, do that 160 divided by 7. I ain't got my calculator out here. I meant to make like some little show notes with my formulas out here with me, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So that should net you roughly 20, 22. And
Yeah, yeah. You're in the neighborhood. Yeah.
that's including your bread and the coleslaw if they want it. Either way, they're gonna pay for it if they get the coleslaw or not. In my book, either way, and that's at a and you can run that between a 1/3 pound up to 8 ounces. That all depends on you. That's up to you and how you do it. So 1/3 pound is 5.33 ounces. Up to 8 ounces is a half a pound. So there you go for your
And
sandwich.
I will tell you real quick, man, that is something that a lot of the new caterers or vendors or first timers, whatever you want to call them, struggle with is pricing.
Mm-hmm.
As they start out, a lot of them kind of feel pressure to lower their prices, which, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the worst things you can do as you start up. You cannot afford to be giving away things, man. As you start up, if you are confident that you have a solid product, then I think you need the price accordingly. You need the price accordingly. Now, if you know your barbecue is substandard, then maybe you want to draw in with some cheap deals. But if I'm out there putting out the best that I've got and I know it's the best, I'm going to charge accordingly. And you're either going to choose not to buy or to buy. And I guarantee you, the first time you take a bite, you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to pay for this." Hey, hang on real quick. Let's see Joe. He's smiling, like he just caught, like the cat that just caught the canary. Joe, what's going on? Talk to me. Ah, nope, nope. All right,
He can
Darnell.
he can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, Joe, you can hear us, man, but we can't hear you.
He needs to
And your mic is not muted on
he
my
needs,
end.
he needs to unmute something somewhere.
Yeah.
Is he on a headset now?
Yeah, he's wearing a headset. Yeah, he's
So
wearing a headset.
if the headset is anything like my headset, it has a little switch on it for unmuting the headset, either on the cord or a switch on the earpiece itself.
All right, the young IT director is helping him out.
Okay.
That little ultra, that ultra done got in his butt. That yeah, that 1% alcohol done got in him. All right, so we're still we're still tracking, Darnell. We're
Okay.
still tracking.
So, also, um, you gotta look at saturation. Like, I'm saturated by plenty of barbecue businesses around me. So, you also don't want to miss out on the money. You can also, like I said, you could do a times three. Especially if you're basically a one man operation like myself, you can afford to do a times three. Usually when you start getting to the 3.5 and the times four and the times five, you're paying for help. So you
Yeah,
have that
yeah,
you have that extra tacked on to pay for either your employees for the weekend, or if you have a full business in a brick and mortar or something, you're paying for your overhead and all that. Um, so if you're pretty much by yourself on your own, um, pretty much like I am, you can afford to do a times three because at that times three, you're replacing your inventory on the meat that you bought. So if so that's gonna cover that. Two, you paying yourself, and then three, you're recouping your money for your fuel and whatever other supplies you use to cook with, and then you're gonna put that money also back into um, restocking your inventory. So that times one is to replace the initial meat that you cook to keep your proteins in inventory. Times two is gonna be we're gonna put paying yourself last. The times two is to pay for your fuel and supplies, your distance travel, whatever, and then at times three is gonna be to pay yourself.
yes, sir. Definitely got to take care of number one, man. You definitely got to take care of number one. Darnell, since you've been doing this, man, what are some tips or some tricks that you would be able to pass on to somebody interested in going out and doing this?
The biggest thing is backwards plan. That's the biggest thing. Backwards plan / time management. You don't want to have a deadline to meet, and next thing you know, you're 2 hours, 3 hours behind in your cook, and people get frustrated. Um, that would be the biggest thing. So if you know you need to have things finished by a certain time, you need to give yourself a 2 3 hour window. You need to back up from that time that you plan on finishing. You need to start back 2 3 hours and then um, start your plan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I I can tell folks out there, man, that if you're interested in this, a great way to start out is the way Darnell is doing. He's starting out of the house, and he says once in a while he'll go someplace. But out of the house, you're gonna have just about everything you need. Uh, it's gonna give you a great idea of what you're gonna need to then take your business away from the house, take your business to go set up someplace. So give it a couple of shots in the driveway, and you're doing pickup. People are just going to swing past and pick up their orders.
So if
Just
you
so important, man, that when you do these pre-orders, that you get payment for 'em. You get payment for these pre-orders. That way, if they run into some issues, uh, and you've already got cooked food, you've already gotten paid for it. They might not be able to pick it up today. They can come pick it up tomorrow.
and
But
that's how
whatever the case might be, you've gotten paid for it. You cannot afford to cook food that someone is not going to pay for. That's the thing about pre-ordering.
and if you're gonna start out doing it from your house, don't if you can afford to, then fine. Go ahead and go out and buy these different to-go containers and stuff like that. To be honest, I couldn't afford to start out going to buy the box of 200 9x9 to-go boxes and the 8 ounce containers. You know what I started doing? How I started? I would go to the little carry-out restaurants around here and go buy 10 at a time, and they would charge me like a
Oh,
dollar per container, something like that. That's how I
yeah,
started out,
yeah.
real small. And then once I had the money to go and buy the case of the to-go containers, whatever size you want to use, then I bought those. But um, these little Chinese restaurants and these little carryouts, they don't have no problem. As long as you pay for it, they don't care. And like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I would go buy like 10 at a time here and there, and that's how I started out. So um,
All right. All right, let's give Joe another shot. He's on device number 3 tonight. Joe, can testing, Joe? What's going on? This one is a bust as well. Yeah, this
it's
one
not
is
the
a bust
device.
as well.
It's not the device. It's the operator.
Yeah, yeah. He's got to be missing something
It,
somewhere, man.
it's something you
Yeah,
got to go in
he's
the
got to be
settings.
missing
It's
something.
something in settings you got
Yeah.
to go flip flop around.
Now, Darnell, holding food. What do you do? What are you doing for hot holds?
So on my Louisiana grills, my champion pellet smoker, I have the capability to hold food on that pellet smoker. That's how big it is. So I have uh, I can hold about 8 catering pans in that pellet smoker. And then also, like I said, I plan on using at least 2 of my electric master builts for holding also.
So you're not you don't do Kimbros or anything of the sort?
So I was going to bring that up. So I was going to say, if you don't want to actually do on-site catering per se, but let's say if you want to do drop-off catering, where you cook the food wherever you are at your commercial kitchen or whatever, and you deliver the food to them, invest in Cambros, and you can load those up, and you can drop that food off along with all the cutlery and stuff that the people are going to need to enjoy their meal. So make sure you have Cambros. Um, right now, once again, I'm still getting started. So I found these other things that are like kind of like knockoff Cambros, but they're front loaders, and they're about half the price. They have them at there's a store around my house, not Restaurant Depot, but it's actually called the Restaurant Store. They also they're online. You can look the Restaurant Store online. They have these things that are similar to Cambros that aren't as expensive when you're getting started, and you can buy those. And they got front loaders and top loaders to put your catering trays in. And also shop around on Facebook Market. Facebook Market is wonderful when you're trying to find things. When you can't afford to get things exactly brand new when you're getting started, just make sure that stuff is in good condition, and it can hold up to get you through until you can upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, El Barrio is another gentleman, man. He's hopped on in the past, and he's almost doing every weekend out of his driveway as well. And here he's doing a job for a car dealership, 50 to 60
Mhm.
employees, brisket sausage, 2 sides, and he's charging 15, roughly 21, $23 per person. And
Yep,
that
that's
is
about
a
right.
that's a great per person price, man,
Yeah.
especially
Well,
for brisket and sausage.
yeah.
That's a great price. So once again, folks, make sure you price accordingly, man. Price accordingly. The last thing you want to do is price to break even, thinking
Yeah.
that they'll call you back the next time or whatnot. If they call you back the next time, they're going to be looking for that same price, and
I was
you definitely will not be able to do that time and time again. You're not
I
in
was
this to break even.
right.
Yeah, you're not
I
in
would
this
say
to break even.
I would say outside of brisket and ribs, you should be able to sell 2 sides, uh, 8 ounce portion of meat along with some bread if you choose, or even if you make cornbread muffins at home, you can do that. And a soda, you should be able to sell that for 15, 16, maybe even $17 all day. Now we
Yes,
start
sir. Yes, sir.
when you start adding on the ribs and brisket, you might have to fluctuate up towards the $20 range on that portion when you start
Yes.
adding in brisket and ribs. So
Joe. Any audio yet, Joe? Hey, Joe,
and I'm mad. I'm mad because I know he has a lot to add to the conversation.
Joe, Tom is gonna kill. Tom is gonna give you a hard time, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about you.
Yeah.
I gotta say we because I'm gonna join him too. When
I almost feel under pressure. I thought I was gonna have me a wingman on here tonight,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I know it.
but I guess
Hey,
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right,
Josh,
I guess.
Josh, Josh, hop in if you're able to, man. Josh is I think he did his first job maybe last weekend, and he's really looking to make this a bit of a business, man. So I would love to hear any little comments, any anything you learned from that first job, Josh, if it happened last weekend, or anything of the sort. If you're still in the chat, Josh, would love to have you stop in for a hot second.
And I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
I'm always accessible. If anybody ever has questions, want to ask me, I could be found anywhere. So
Yes, sir. What's happening? Terry's in the house. Terry is another one that does
yep.
bending, man. Madwood, what's going on, baby? How are you doing?
Me and Terry done set up some late nights. Y'all don't even know. Me and Terry done set up some late nights. Whew, man, late nights.
Mama, I think El Barrio works out of the driveway. Yeah. Yeah. El Barrio works out of the
it's hard to plan a cook 8 states away.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling.
And I say me and Terry done had some nights, boy. We done had some nights.
Yeah, yeah. Now, man, out of the driveway is a great way to start. A couple of maybe 2 months ago, we had my buddy Daniel on that is doing out of the driveway almost every weekend and selling out. So it's a great way to start, man, until you build up enough income to maybe move on to something bigger and better. There's a lot less pressure on you working out of the driveway. You've got home equipment to fall back on, so that's a great way to start. Like I said, all right, El Barrio will do.
I will say this. Make sure you take care of your make sure you take care of your curb appeal. I hear something.
All right, I just heard something.
Hold on.
I heard something from Joe.
He said, hold on.
Hold up.
I heard something from Joe.
Hold up. You hear something?
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
do you have multiple? Do you have multiple devices on right now, Joe?
No, I'll just
That's where
have
that
one.
feedback might be coming from.
Joe, mute your YouTube. Click mute your YouTube tab.
That's where that feedback might be coming from.
Hold on.
Joe, mute your YouTube. Click mute your YouTube tab.
Hold on. I'm trying to get this fucking speaker on. This is some bullshit.
Oh my goodness.
Stereo. Let's go to this one. I can see this shit.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
All right,
Yeah,
Josh says his first job is Sunday. His first job is Sunday.
Hold on. I might get this.
Josh, I just dropped the link in the chat, man. If you're able to, hop on. If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Also, make sure your curb appeal, the curb appeal of your yard is good to go too.
Oh yeah.
That's something else I'm working on is my curb appeal. So
So Joe, I think you've got two devices going or two platforms going. I don't know, maybe YouTube and StreamYard.
Oh, hold on.
All right, he's coming back in.
Yeah,
He's coming back in.
you need to come in through StreamYard now. Oh no, we ain't going back to that. Through
Yeah.
Messenger. Through Messenger. Through Messenger.
All right. So Josh says charge way more is what he's learning. He'll be making a little bit, but didn't think about a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. And that is it's a learning process, Josh. It's a learning process, man. There are lots of hidden costs that should be picked up by the client. But if you
Um,
don't know, you just assume that that cost is yours, and all that does is cut into your little profit margin, and
I
it's going to be hard to stay in business doing that.
if I'm paying $3.99 a pound for pork, guess what? I'm times three in my tax too. I throw my state tax is 6%. I make it 25%. So it could be $3.99 plus 25%. That's how I roll my tax up in there too. So I still got to pay taxes at the end of the year too. So um,
Yes, sir.
so make sure you multiply your state tax into your food costs.
Josh, a job is a job, man. Could be for 10 people. A job is a job. All right. Woo, Madwood had a big one. 250, 100, 250.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You need to turn your volume up,
I'm
but the- we're still getting that
Feedback.
reverb, that feedback.
see. I cut the YouTube one off.
Yeah, do that.
I cut the YouTube off, but I'm just on the StreamYard now. Maybe
Sounds
I'll
good,
talk.
man.
Do it sound
Sounds
little?
good now.
Can you hear me a little bit?
Turn your volume up.
Yeah. Can you turn it up some? Turn up your mic.
I got my little 12-year-old in here talking shit.
Oh, we've been watching him for the last half hour.
Okay, let's see. Look at this dude. Mm, all your damn video games.
I didn't ever play on this computer, bro.
Uncle Steve is in the house. What's that? What's going on, Steve? How you doing, buddy? How are you doing?
Everybody's favorite uncle.
Back over there?
Yeah, everybody's favorite uncle.
Okay, let's see. How about now? Is that any better?
Turn your mic up.
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's not very loud.
Um,
I'm trying to remember how to do it.
If you
maybe if we get that damn.
does he still have a headset on?
Yeah, go get that headset.
No, he does not.
Oh, okay.
No, his head is just big. It looks like it. But
All right, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving.
He's
Darryl.
wanting to get the headset now.
oh my goodness.
Dude, I'm not freaking
I-
computer savvy shit, but
You're getting
Oh
frustrated.
my goodness.
I
You're
will
getting
make you something.
frustrated.
All right.
Yo, don't take your son's game headset away. He trying to play Roblox.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's try Joe.
Yeah, we're still good.
Uncle Steve says everyone needs a fifth grader around for tech support.
I don't know.
uh, too funny.
And you know the thing about this stuff, it's so much to it. It really can be like a 2, 3, 4 part series. It's so much.
Oh yeah. We will definitely do this again, man, with Joe. Yeah, I want to hear from Joe, and tonight we weren't able to. I'm gonna send my technology team to Joe's house within the week, and we'll get Joe back on here, man. Yeah, we'll get him back on here. Big D said, man, he's got to go. He's got things going on.
Alrighty.
All right, second time this week, he'll be firing up the pits 5 a.m. for another job. Well, good luck,
Nice.
fella. Make it
Nice.
happen.
Nice. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Make it happen. All right, Darnell, you know we're at that hour. Joe, we're going to work out these bugs, man, and we're going to get back in here at another time. So
Sounds
we'll
good.
call this one a wash, Joe. I'm gonna have my technology folks schedule a time with you, and they'll come get your issues in order. Yeah,
Alrighty.
my team. All right. So, folks, I want to thank you guys and gals once again for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe's. We absolutely appreciate it. We're still on our little program of one video a week for maybe another couple of weeks before I get back to working on 2 videos a week, man. So be on the lookout for another video, give or take next Tuesday. In the meantime, Mom and I want you guys to take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and we will see you when we see you. Holla.
Peace. Oh, hey, you know what?